McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. He joins us every Tuesday at this hour. It's the voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham, presented by our friends at Craneworks.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah, the big dog's got it.
The voice of the Auburn Tigers, Andy Burcham, on Mac and Cube in the morning is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it, the big dog's got it. Now, Andy Burcham.
Andy, always great to have you in on a Tuesday morning. Hope all is well. Did not get the chance to visit with Coach Freeze at Tiger Talk last night. Anything from Derek Nix that stood out to you?
And let me say this real quick, and it's good to be with both of you guys. The plan all along was, and it always has been during these off weeks when our show is in the studio, we always talk to coordinators. So it was not changed because of what happened at A&M. The plan all along was that we were going to be talking to the coordinators going in. Listen, it's a frustrating day. It's a real frustrating day for the offense at Texas A&M. And probably the off week comes in one regard at a good time, because it's a time to step back. You heard Coach Freeze on his post-game Saturday. It's a time to reevaluate the offense at this point, and I think all facets of the offense right now. And the offensive coordinator, Derek Nix, echoed the same thing I thought on Tiger Talk last night. You know, it's a chance to step back, evaluate how things are going, evaluate some of the problems that Auburn has had. Penalties, certainly. The sacks of late have been a problem for Auburn at this point, and let's see moving forward. Auburn's first full practice is going on, I guess, in just a couple of minutes over at the athletic complex, or the Waltos Performance Center. So it's time to reevaluate at this point, because things are not going well offensively at this time.
How much of this has to do with the teams they played? Like I keep going back to this. These were not. If you told me in the preseason going to the bye week, I thought Auburn should be 3-2. Like that to me, I'm disappointed with how it's looked for them, but I can't say it's an overwhelming surprise. So how much of it you think has to do with the fact that they played really good teams the last couple of weeks?
And on one hand of that, Mac, I mean, you lost 2 straight games on the road to 2 teams that are right now top 10, right? But you also had a chance to win both of those games. And I think that's the frustrating part for Auburn, is that Auburn had the lead in the fourth quarter in both of those games. I take that back. I had the lead in the fourth quarter, Oklahoma, but had the ball late in the fourth quarter in both of those games with a chance to take the lead, and were unable to do anything offensively. And Auburn's defense, I think, played well enough to win both of those ball games. Gave up the late drive to Oklahoma, still had time offensively to win that ball game, and just didn't do anything. And then this past weekend, other than the opening drive of the game, and DJ Durkin mentioned on Tiger Talk last night, Auburn made mistakes on the 2 explosive plays on that opening drive for Texas A&M, in which that was the only sustained touchdown drive of the ball game for A&M. After that, Auburn, I thought, really played very well defensively. And still, Auburn had the ball offensively late with a chance to drive and win, and just have been unable to do anything with those drives. So I think it's a little bit of both. Yeah, you're playing 2 really good defenses. Oklahoma is the best front 4 that I've seen in a long, long time against Auburn. And A&M's defense, again, put a lot of pressure on the Auburn quarterback, and I think is maybe even a step better defensively, just from an overall standpoint. So I think there's, you played 2 really good teams, but you've also had a chance to win both of those ball games, and that's frustrating.
What's been said by any of the staff as to how they can aid protection for this offensive line and the quarterback? What can they do schematically to maybe ease the burden of this offensive line to help them get back on track?
Yeah, and I've not heard anything from a schematic standpoint, Cole. But listen, the one thing that I think that echoed about the postgame show on Saturday, and I've not talked to Hugh Freeze since that point is that Auburn probably needs to run the football more and more effectively at this point, and perhaps that helps ease some of the burden on the quarterback and protecting the quarterback. Listen, Auburn's best offensive game, other than Ball State, and I think you can take Ball State out of the mix because Auburn just overmatched Ball State in every regard in that ball game. But Auburn's best offense so far this season was what it did at Baylor on opening night, and that was primarily run the football in every regard, whether it was Damari Alston, whether it was Jeremiah Cobb or Jackson Arnold, and he had a career day running the football that day. That's Auburn's best offense so far. When Auburn has decided it's going to throw the football more, especially against the good teams, and you're in that part of the schedule now for Auburn, it has been hard to protect the quarterback. Auburn gave up 9 sacks 2 weeks ago at Oklahoma. A&M did a good job of getting to Jackson Arnold this past weekend, and I think that's got to be one of the driving forces for Auburn moving forward. How Auburn does that schematically, Cole, I'm not one of those coaches that's making that decision at this point.
What do you make of
or at future point?
Yeah, right. What do you make of Jackson Arnold up to this point and kind of a lack of willingness to really take chances, to really go and do what he needs to do to cut it loose and to throw it into tight windows and maybe just trust that his guys are going to go make a play for him? Because I don't feel like he's trusting it very much. He's not trusting his eyes. And you could talk about that performance against Baylor, and it was great, but a lot of it was born off of one-to-run scramble drill. And you can't do that against SEC teams. He's not Kyler Murray, he's not Vince Young, and he's not not Lamar Jackson. He's got to go through the progression. Do you think he can do it?
I do, and this is just a speculation on my part. A year ago, we talked so much, and we talked on this show a year ago about Auburn's propensity to turn the ball over and how that cost Auburn some ball games at this time of the season during the month of September, and those 5 home games that Auburn played, in which Auburn lost 3 of those. And, Jackson has not turned the ball. Auburn offensively has not turned the ball over this season, which is remarkable considering where it was a year ago. But it's also not winning ball games that it needs to win like last year. So Auburn is losing games differently than it did a year ago. And I wonder, and I don't know this for a fact, and I've not asked Jackson this question, or Hugh Freeze this question. Perhaps I need to. Auburn's emphasis on the turnovers or eliminating the turnovers, is that affecting Jackson's ability to cut it loose, so to speak? These next 2 weeks are going to be fascinating for Auburn. How does this team respond? How does this team respond to its losses on the road at Oklahoma and on the road at A&M, in which both games Auburn gave up double-digit penalties, almost all of those from an offensive standpoint, and the quarterback sacks? So what does Auburn do differently now? How is Auburn more effective from an offensive standpoint? There's some pressure on this ball club right now, and you've got a week off, and they're back on the practice field this morning. But you also have a Georgia ball club coming in that will play host to Kentucky this week and comes to Auburn a week from Saturday night.
Andy Bertram with us on the Higginbotham Hotline, voice of the Auburn Tigers, brought to us by Craneworks each and every week. How's the health of the team going into the bye, and how much will the bye help the health of this team when we see them on the field again?
Yeah, other than Horatio Fields, who's out for a while with a broken foot, and Darrell Robinson with the incision on his thigh after the Ball State game, I guess it is. At this point, I'm not certain that there are any other injuries of note at this point. It was good to have Jay Crawford back playing for Auburn at corner down at Texas A&M. I don't know of anyone else that is injured, a serious injury coming out of that game. And I think one of the things about this week is you not necessarily rest up but you get some guys even more healthy at this point. Now, listen, that we may see something come out this week that there's somebody else out there that I'm not aware of coming out of that ball game on Saturday, and there were some guys down, but everyone that I can recall that came off the field did come back and play for Auburn in that game at Texas A&M.
Andy, we always appreciate the time. It's always great to get you in, and look forward to it. Enjoy the bye week. We'll catch up next week.
Appreciate it, Cole. Let me tell you about CraneWorks. It's the most trusted name for crane and equipment rental in the Southeast for over 30 years. They have a fleet of cranes ranging from 2.5 tons to 500 tons. CraneWorks also offers trained and certified operators and riggers to make sure the job is done right. Locations in Birmingham, Nashville, Mobile, and Huntsville. Visit craneworks.com for more info. Where is everyone this week, gentlemen?
Tuscaloosa for the Fighting Vanderbilt Commodores against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And Cole is heading to
College Station.
College Station.
Very nice. Very nice. Both will be good games. Both are good teams. I think Vanderbilt's one of the most interesting stories in college football right now. And we find out just how legit they are when they come to Tuscaloosa this weekend.
Absolutely.
That's my thought. Yeah.
I'm with you, Andy. It'll be fun. Appreciate the time. We'll catch up next week.
Guys, take care. Have a great one. War Eagle.
War Eagle. Andy Bertram joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline, talking a little more Auburn football, which brings me to this question. Before I ask the question, I want you to tell our listeners about Bromberg's.
Well, Bromberg's has been serving this community for a very long time. Always grateful to know that Bromberg's will take great care of you. I've been going there for years. I know you guys will have the exact same experience. If you walk in the door at Bromberg's, the service, the sales staff, the knowledge that they have as well, just the absolute best. And they have a jewelry buying event. This is Thursday and Friday. This is October 2nd and 3rd, so just a couple days from now. It's at the Summit from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You can request an appointment right now, but they will give you your money back right there for whatever you decide to sell, or they'll give you 120% of your offer in store credit. So you can trade something in for something beautiful. They're looking for gold, platinum jewelry, diamonds, gemstones, designer and vintage jewelry, luxury watches, sterling silver flatware. They have a lot of options that you guys will enjoy if you go to the annual jewelry buying event. It's Friday and Thursday at the Summit at Bromberg's.
They taking G-Shocks in there? I got a couple of those. I could turn in.
Probably. I don't know.
For some coin.
Maybe. I don't know.
After this past weekend, what we saw with A&M, Auburn, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi State. Here's the question that I have for you, and I'll get the group's feedback. You can call in and give us yours, 800-239-9569. What teams, realistically right now, do you believe can get to Atlanta in the SEC? We'll discuss that next on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. So let's dive into the SEC kind of collectively here. Take a look at teams that we think could possibly make it to Atlanta to compete in the SEC championship game. I'll start at the top and I'll just go down the list. You tell me yes, no, cannot make it to the SEC championship game. Alabama.
Yes.
John?
Very much so, yes.
Arkansas.
No.
Way no.
It's going to be a strong no from me.
No, come on.
Auburn.
No.
No.
I'll go no. Florida.
Yes. No.
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 Georgia.
Yeah.
Do they fight this weekend, though?
It's a great question. I'm interested to see it.
Me too.
I don't know where that team is mentally, emotionally. I don't know where that team is from
Well, outside of everybody being hurt, they're in great shape.
a desire standpoint. Georgia.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know you, and I know what you're thinking. The answer is still yes.
Of course it's yes. They have one SEC loss.
I know what you're thinking.
They got Kentucky, Auburn next, but you still have to play Ole Miss. And honestly, that's your biggest test the rest of the way. At some point this week, we need to have a conversation on Texas and still being ranked 9th and where some of the viewpoints are there, but that's okay. We can
Georgia still
wait.
goes to
But look
Mississippi
how
State.
Arch.
What's that?
Georgia still goes to Mississippi State. That could be we saw Tennessee had to fight to get that game.
No, listen, Mississippi State is
They're the most
it's a
improved team in the
challenge.
league. They are. I mean, you say what you want. They're the most improved team in the league.
Yeah, I wouldn't push back on that. I would agree there. Okay, let's continue kind of going down the list here.
I know what you're saying about Georgia, though. They're on much thinner ice than they've been on in a very long time. Like, their margins for victory are remarkably small compared to what it's been. And this is not an indictment on this year's version. It's just an acknowledgement that they are a lot more human than they once were.
Yes, but also I don't look at that schedule and say, oh,
I do not like
can't be
their matchup
overcome.
against Ole Miss.
No, not with some of the coverage concerns that we have seen. I don't think that that's one that I look at and say I like a whole lot. But we still got a ways to go before we get to that one.
Correct.
Kentucky's a no from everyone. Correct?
TBD, I got to see this week.
Yeah, no, it's a no.
Yeah, definitely no.
Why are you being a hater, Damien?
LSU.
I'm going to say no.
Same here.
No, here's the problem. I think Nuss is hurt. We've seen him make high-level throws for years. He's not making them right now. If for whatever reason the light goes on there, he gets healthy, and they start throwing it the way they're capable of throwing it, they become a problem again. I don't think he's healthy. He's not driving the ball.
South Carolina.
Are you a no on LSU?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, South Carolina, not a good matchup for them. Texas A&M, terrible matchup for them. Oklahoma, terrible matchup for them. I don't even know. I'm going to talk Alabama, which is not a great matchup. Neither is Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt can limit their possessions. But those teams in general of just what they had the capability of doing to that quarterback who may be injured, bad matchups. So I'm going to go no for LSU. I do not think that they can. Ole Miss.
Yes.
Reluctantly, yes.
Why is it reluctantly?
Because much as I want to, I still don't fully trust Lane.
Will they lose a game they probably shouldn't? Probably.
You're right.
Is their defense legit? Probably not. Do they have challenges on the perimeter? I think yes. I think they do. I think they have problems in the secondary.
They had some big wins against that team last weekend in one-on-ones. You can say they were underthrown or say they weren't thrown inside enough or whatever, but they won. At the end of the day, they won. They had one-on-one opportunities down the field, and LSU's receivers did not win those matchups on a very consistent basis. So
they were open, so I consider that winning.
I saw contested balls down the field that LSU receivers did not come away with.
As a result of poorly thrown balls.
Okay.
You can be captain receiver pants. I'll be captain quarterback pants.
Okay, I'll tell you what Captain Pants I'll be. is I will pull up.
Captain Run the Ball pants.
They're not going to just. They're not just going to do that. That's for sure.
The O-line ain't getting fixed, right?
No, but it's a little bit better. Here's what I'll do: is I'll go down the schedule, and you tell me Washington State, Georgia, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Citadel, Florida, Mississippi State. Which quarterbacks are picking them apart?
Oh, you're talking about LSU? I think.
No, I'm talking about Ole Miss
about
defense.
Ole Miss. I mean, I think Ole Miss defense with their D-line and the progress being made there. I think you have two difference-making defensive linemen in 52 and 51. I think
5 is getting there.
I think 5 is getting there on the edge. He's a heavy-handed player. And you still got a little juice with Suntarian.
One will flash occasionally.
I actually like one. Mon Mielen. Like I like him fine. He's not his brother.
No.
They don't have as much edge as they had last year. With the speed they had off the edge, because Suntarian is just
it's fair.
It's not being used that way. But I think their defense is just fine. Pete's a good coach. He knows what he's doing.
But I'll just say, Gunnar Stockton, John Mateer, Lenora Sellers, Citadel hadn't seen the tape this year. DJ Lagway, Blake Shapen, like which quarterbacks are picking them apart if the secondary is an issue?
Mateer.
That's assuming he's back.
Right.
Fair. And when he is back, if he's healthy and he's close to what he was. I mean, Shapen in that offense can be problematic. I think they have better receivers than people give them credit for. But my point is, Nussmeier might have been a little bit off. It doesn't look like there's a lot of guys on the schedule that are just going to be extremely problematic.
No, I wouldn't be that surprised if Ole Miss playing the SEC title.
All right, Mississippi State.
No.
Not even possible.
No, but I like them. I like them a lot. I think they're a 6-7 win team.
Missouri.
By the way, Mississippi State, their best shot of getting a big win in the SEC was last Saturday. If you look at what else is out there, like they have some matchups they could win.
Florida would be a big win for them. I don't care what Florida is. That's a big win.
Okay.
After not winning an SEC game last year. And by the way, why can they not beat Texas?
No one said they couldn't.
Okay, but so that's another shot that you have.
I don't think they're going to be able to move the ball as well against Texas. Texas defense, say what you want about what they're doing offensively and some of the challenges they've had, which, by the way, they're coming off a bye. I would not be surprised they had their best week this week.
They're playing well.
Their defense can go.
I think they can get. I think matchup-wise, they can be a little bit of a problem for Ole Miss too. And that game sometimes more competitive than it needs to be.
Yes.
All right, so we'll just say no for now on Mississippi State. Missouri.
I'm gonna say no.
You say cannot get to Atlanta.
I'm saying I got to see it because we had the same conversations about Missouri at this time last year.
Guess who?
Same exact conversations. Oh, man, look at how good they are here. Look how good they are there. Look at what they do here. Look what they do there. I like so far so much of what I've seen. I really do. Everything about Missouri screams top 15 football team. But until I see them do it against the big dogs and the bullies on the block, it's hard for me to tell you without a shadow of a doubt that they are going to go and get those wins. We were super bullish on them at the end of September last year, and what happened?
Jarquez Hunter.
Well, Jarquez Hunter, Brady Cook got hurt. Like there were a couple things that were like, and then all of a sudden they become very human. You know what I mean?
I get it. The level of competition has not been great.
It hasn't. So,
but
I'm in see it to believe it mode still.
They've been handling their business, though.
But
man.
I think they can get there.
I say yes.
Same.
I love where they're going to get Alabama. You get them in an early kick. You get them after Vandy and Georgia back-to-back at home. Your offense is one that can steal eyes. Alabama does not have great eye discipline defensively. You can maybe shorten the game running the football.
After a bye?
They have guys up front that can be problematic on their defense. So
yeah, they got some twitch.
They have a
up front.
chance to get that game
for sure.
But then you get Auburn, Vandy.
They also lost that game 34-0 last year. So, like, I understand what you're saying. Can they get it? Yes. Am I confident that they can?
Pine is all I'm going to say to them.
You don't need to explain to me. I watched the game.
I know, but I just making sure you remembered.
I'm just saying, like, it's
Drew
a little
Pine,
bit.
Someone sold us a box of goods on that one that was just empty.
I love so far what I've seen from Missouri. I really do. But there was a noticeable drop-off last year.
Drew Pine's a box of Lucky Charms, and you didn't get a single marshmallow in the whole thing.
See, like, I don't mind the cereal portion. I don't mind the cereal portion. Like, the cardboard marshmallows are overrated.
Just like Drew Pine.
I'm just telling you, I think Missouri's very, very good. I'm still a little bit in see it to believe it mode. Just a little bit. I hope that's fair. I think their fan base would understand that. I think Eli would understand that. There's a little bit of see it to believe it mode there.
That's fair.
O-line took a step backwards last week. That can't keep happening.
And that's the problem.
Oklahoma.
Yes.
Not with the quarterback situation.
What did you two say about Missouri?
I said yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're a yes. And
Well,
here-
because
we'll
these two think 7 teams go to the SEC title game. You have Mississippi State in, so everyone else. Clearly, I'm the only one here that's logical.
It's
Well,
a
you've already put
chance.
more than 2
Well,
in there.
let's
so.
Let's go back to this
No,
conversation.
they decided to
Hold on a
expand
second.
the championship.
Let's go back
game
to this
format.
conversation before the season when we had it. And I think there's only one person in this room that said Vanderbilt could possibly make the SEC championship game. And they're sitting at 5-0 right now.
It's
So,
great. Same
just
boat
saying.
as Missouri to me.
Just saying.
Same boat as Missouri. Really like what I've seen.
Oklahoma.
I say no without Mateer.
Yeah, I think you say no now, right this very second. That's why we did our power rankings on Read and React last night. And Roman's like, man, Oklahoma's all the way down. I was like, well, they don't have a quarterback right
It's
now.
a question.
So if it was a healthy material, yeah, they'd be a lot higher. So
See it to believe it mode. And they got some tough games. That Ole Miss game looks tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Alabama game looks tougher. The Texas game, I still think will be a
we know
tough
what that
game.
game is, though. I mean, that's a different game.
It's a hard game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always a hard game. Like there's a handful of games that if I would have looked at it 2 weeks ago, I'd say, okay, things look really good for Oklahoma here. Now, a couple weeks later, see a few more teams progress.
Yeah.
I think their path to the SEC title's a lot tougher now than it was 2 weeks ago.
South Carolina.
No.
Yeah, I can't say SEC championship game right now.
Can't believe that.
John,
No on both.
Tennessee.
Yes.
I say yes.
I say no.
Texas. Say yes, Greg.
I
Look
can't.
How Arch.
Right now, I can't.
Really?
Look how arch.
I can't. I can't say
This
yes.
is the biggest surprise of this practice.
Honestly,
right
I'm right there with him.
I can't say yes right now. I'm in see it to believe it mode. I'm allowed to put teams in see it to believe it mode on September 30th.
This is not who's in see it, believe it mode. This is who
Yes
can or
or
cannot
no.
go to the SEC
Well, if
championship
the answer is
game.
yes, they can. And if that's the case, then yes, Missouri can. If that's the case, then yes, Oklahoma
No,
can.
I liked where you were before. Don't put your brain in a different place because I'm on a no on Texas also. I don't. Right now, I would say no.
I say no.
I think the run game's inconsistent. The offensive line has not played well. The quarterback has been a little bit of a letdown, but so have the receivers at times. I mean, everybody else around him is not playing at a high level, specifically to the level of which their talents are. And so I would say no on Texas right now. I haven't seen them perform as a great team yet.
Yep.
For long periods of time, for really any extended period of time. So that's why I would say no. It's not because of Arch. Excuse me. Texas A&M.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Faux show.
Vanderbilt.
Greg?
I say no.
Damian? Can they?
Fine, I'll be the guy. Yes.
No.
Okay, they get Alabama next.
Hang
Then
on.
they get LSU.
Hang on. What was the challenge with Vanderbilt last year?
Depth.
Depth.
By the way, they are not rolling guys the way in which they need to right now. I will say that.
I'm telling you, the depth is a concern. Like, you think about what's coming up. You got Bama this week. Tough game, right? Very tough game. LSU, I don't care what you say. LSU they had a really nice plan that they utilized last year against Diego Pavia involving some safety run support. Diego Pavia is a live by the sword, die by the sword type of player.
Right.
Like, he is a lot of fun to watch. And if he's on, buckle up. But he's been off sometimes too.
He has, but I'll say this. They are leaning less on quarterback run.
I agree.
He has made I'm not saying that all of a sudden he's turned into Carson Palmer, but he has made a few more throws that are of higher level of difficulty this year. Just a couple. There's a couple throws you see and you're like, okay, not sure he's making that throw last year. As you just stated, there is danger, Diego, that is always lurking.
Always.
And he had one this past week against Utah State. He heaves it into the end zone from the 50 for no reason whatsoever, and it's an interception.
Other than to be sweet.
Now,
that's a reason.
That one didn't end up hurting them because they were in control of the game, and he had 2 of them against South Carolina, but because they were in control of that game running the football, it didn't matter. So oftentimes, as those play go, Vanderbilt goes. I actually think it says a ton about them as a team that he's had a few of those catastrophe plays, and his team has still won. So, but with this weekend, he can't have any of those. You cannot have those. And then in some of the bigger games down the stretch, he cannot have those. They will lose. You talk about your LSUs, your Texas, your Tennessees later. You can't have those plays. You just can't. And actually, I hate the Tennessee matchup for them. Just with what it is, how physically how they match up, personnel-wise how they match up. I think that's a terrible matchup for them. We'll talk about it in a month or two.
9 weeks.
But yeah.
Got some time.
But here's the other part about what you said about depth, Greg, because it's fair on Vanderbilt. Alabama's got guys dinged up.
Totally.
Arkansas don't even need to have a conversation. Auburn has seen – they're probably not running into depth issues just yet, but they've seen a couple of injuries, specifically in the secondary. Florida, Georgia.
Florida's got a lot of depth problems right now.
Kentucky has got some depth concerns defensively. LSU, they're trying to roll in some younger D tackles, trying to get them playing. Offensive line. I think Ole Miss is actually in pretty good shape, and they're going to get guys back. Like they're getting a tight end back that's going to be able to help.
See, but Ole Miss does not roll a lot of players defensively, and I do worry about their defense down the stretch a little
snaps,
bit.
Yeah,
like they don't roll guys the same way some of the other teams roll guys, and that's
Oklahoma. You got offensive line and quarterback concerns already. Like South Carolina's D tackles are playing way too much right now. Tennessee, I feel like you have secondary concerns. They're banged up, so it's like. Yes, that's a concern that's real, but also almost everybody has those concerns. Almost everybody's dealing with depth issues right now in college football. Just some a little bit more than others, and some are going to be able to handle a little bit more than others. It's going to affect everybody,
of course,
when it hits because it's just.
No, you got to get lucky.
Like I saw somebody yesterday saying, "Man, that we need a developmental league for offensive linemen because these NFL teams they lose one lineman and they're just done. They're a totally different team." And I'm like, "In what league is not that?"
Yeah.
The UFL is that. High school football is that. The SEC is that. They're all that. So it's not a new story just for the NFL. It is that season when you may be running the AC during the day and the heat at night. That stress on your home comfort system is why you need a Train. They've been named America's most trusted brand 11 consecutive years, so you know you can count on the reliability of a Train. Keep your home and family comfortable for years to come. Find out more at Train.com. It's hard to stop a Train. All right, we'll continue this conversation and more SEC games from the weekend that we hadn't gotten to yet next on Jocks. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Coming off that conversation on who can make the SEC championship game, you can be a part of the show, 800-239-9569. Tweet in at Mac and Cube. Text in 205-834-9450. Dr. Mel has been patient through the break. Dr. Mel, welcome in. How are you?
Good morning, Cole, Mac, and rest of the guys. Normally, I don't get that excited, but you all mentioned Ryan Grubb earlier, and I think it should have been one of the ESPN highlights of the play of the day, and it reminded me of brought back flashes of one of my favorite players, William Peary. I called it the jumbo package to Caden Proctor. How sweet. Turn him into a receiver and a couple of yards away from scoring a touchdown. I think he picked up 8 or 9 yards. So I'm going to hang up and let you all expound on what I call the jumbo play of the day.
It was an awesome play. I loved it. I love the fact that Jam Miller was out in front of him giving an actual good block. There's a Georgia DB that essentially just gave himself up, that had an opportunity to try to make the play and just dove away from him, I believe. We got to get in the end zone there, though, at the end of the day. I mean, sorry. We got to score. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You got to find the end zone. It's the only thing. But how Daniel Moore's not working on that thing right now, I don't know.
It was one of the cooler plays I've seen, first and foremost. Secondly, anytime a big boy's carrying the ball, I'm scared to death. I'm like holding my breath. Why? Because y'all have terrible ball security.
How do you know, though? How do you know? How many offensive linemen have you seen fumble?
I have seen 2 offensive linemen this year for Alabama carrying the football, and they looked like running backs. One was in week 1.
And you praised Parker Brailsford for how well
and
he
I
ran
praised
with the ball.
Caden Proctor. But I feel like we now have gone 2 for 2. Third one we try, fumble. It's coming. We're due. I'm scared to death about it. It was sweet. You tell me this. How many of your big boy ball carriers, your defensive linemen and or offensive linemen that are carrying the football, how many of them have 3 points of pressure? How many of them are used to carrying the football? I thought it was actually tremendously nimble how Proctor handled it. And I thought, by the way, Parker Brailsford in week 1 looked amazing carrying the ball.
He really did.
Let's get him a short yard. Let's get those guys a short yardage package. Like, I'm in. But you can't tell me you don't hold your breath the whole time he's rumbling, stumbling.
I don't think about it because I'm so excited that they're actually getting to carry the ball.
See, like as a parent, like I just see the risk in everything. All I see is risk and fear. And
sounds like you're the Jackson Arnold of football viewing.
Wow.
Maybe so.
Well,
I loved every second of it. Plus, you know what it does? It invigorates the sideline.
No doubt.
Like that's the biggest thing is it's even more than just your run-of-the-mill 9-10 yard gain. You get handed to Jam Miller gains 10, nobody cares.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Sidelines like, all right, yay.
You'll see your left tackle out there.
Sweet. That was awesome. Good job, Jam.
No, there are always plays that you have in that just get everybody going.
They get everybody going, and you're all jacked up, and you're all juiced, and everybody's like re-engaged. And guess what? Like Caden Proctor is probably going to block harder the next play just because he's so amped up on adrenaline. You have to be. How could you not be?
100%.
Like, I just love those plays just for a get everybody involved standpoint.
And that's just another thing that I think Grubb and DeBoer have done is they've spread the ball around. Not that you need to do that to offensive linemen per se, but there have been different touches for different people. One guy,
you guys have got to manufacture some touches for Proctor this week, boys. Like, what do you think they're sitting there in the game planning meeting?
Hey, in the NIL era, that is one way, I guess, to view it.
I guess that's right. Remember, they who was Sebastian Tritola for Arkansas that threw the touchdown pass?
Yep. Sebastian Tritola, that was him. Yeah, he threw a touchdown. You got to keep him happy. So, and that definitely does that. But one guy that there are some concern about, GMAC, is Ryan Williams at wide receiver. Kalen DeBoer discussed yesterday just some of the struggles with some of the drops that he's had and his thoughts on those.
He knows he's just got to keep progressing, keep developing, keep working. And so what I know I see on the football field in practice every single day is a guy that is working hard at it. And so we know how skilled he is, how big of a threat he is anytime he's on the field. I thought he responded well. Had some nice catches and third down conversions. Had a ball late in the half there that was an explosive that helped us cross midfield and put points on the board. So I thought his response was really good, and he stayed focused. And I think really what he's locked in on is the team. And again, he's not going to be perfect just like any other guy. And we expect a lot out of him, and we've built that up for him, and he certainly wants that. But he's just got to keep taking the steps, keep getting better, and he will. He just keep working through it. But his desire to go out there and be a team player, block. I mean, it's the want-to factors there. So just got to keep working on the fundamental things, and he'll do it.
So is this a concern for you moving forward?
Well, he's 18 years old.
Fair.
Here's the thing. Guys drop passes. I played with Julio Jones. He led our team in drops in 2008 and 2009. Guy can play some freaking football, though. He's going to get his. I can remember a play coming out in 2009. We're backed up against LSU. We throw a locked hitch to Julio. Literally, he catches the ball. We're out of the shadow of our old goalpost. We convert first down. I'm not saying a game-changing play. I throw a good ball. It's right on. He's on the right side. It's right on the left pec, right where it needs to be thrown. He drops it. He walks over to me. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry." I'm like, "Dude, it's okay. You're gonna make a play." And 15 minutes later, he catches the screen, makes Patrick Peterson miss, and takes it to the house. It's here's the thing with guys like Julio and with Ryan Williams. I don't care if they have 3 or 4 bad plays, because guess what? They're going to give you 3 or 4 that change the game. You got to take the good in with the bad sometimes when you have a guy that has that much skill and that much potential and that much ability and puts that much fear in the defense. I could care less about the drop down field. Why? Because he made the catch on third down that was probably a bigger play in the game and got absolutely clocked doing it. I could care less about him missing the block to the right-hand side. Would I like for him to have at least gotten a piece of him?
Yeah,
it'd be nice. But guess what? Germ's got him. We're good. If all you do is focus on the negative, you're going to miss some pretty great moments that he's going to deliver. With Julio, I think people remember back now with what he's done in the NFL and with what he did in 2010, where he was just completely lights out the whole season. And they don't remember some of the growing pains he experienced as a young player. Why? Because of what he became. We will look back in 10 years when Ryan Williams is, made $100 million in the league, and we're going to say, golly, he was incredible. No one's going to remember the drop down the middle of the field. No one's remember the missed block against Georgia. This is a young receiver. These are mistakes. The performance against Florida State was disgusting in some ways, but I've loved the response. I really have. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
And I think if we I'm not saying spin it. I'm not saying gloss over it. I'm not saying ignore it. I think sometimes you just got to focus on the positives, not on the negatives. And in our society, we focus way too much on the negatives and not on the positives. And there's a lot of positive things that Ryan Williams is doing for this team that are probably being a little bit overlooked because people are so focused and frustrated with some of the negative moments as well.
No, I think it's fair. And as you heard Kalen DeBoer say, they're aware of his skill set. They know what he's capable of, and you're going to need that moving forward. And he can be somebody who's
100%.
extremely dangerous there. So
if they're going to win the national championship, which, I hope is the goal. That's the goal. If they're going to win the national championship, they're going to need Ryan Williams to be there.
I know it's the goal of the team coming in this weekend because it's their standard.
Who?
Vanderbilt is what we were told before the season. It's the standard. National championship.
Oh, okay.
Ceiling is the roof.
Yeah.
Championship is the standard. So
I don't know if it's a standard, but it's the goal.
But no, we were told
it's standard.
It's the standard. So tell our listeners about Polar Bear Services, Greg.
Well, the standard for Wes and the guys to make sure they deliver incredible service, make sure they deliver an incredible experience for their customers. And they have for me. I've been using them for years and have always been very grateful to the experience that I've gotten when I've worked with Polar Bear Services. They've come out and they've helped me with my HVAC system. We know that the seasons will change here hopefully soon when it's not 1,000 degrees outside. Yesterday was actually quite pleasant. We're not quite to the point, though, where the heater's running. It will be soon. Wes and the guys will come out, make sure everything's running smoothly so that when the cold months come, my system's ready to be put to the test. Call them a day. They can also help you with electrical. They can help you with your plumbing as well. So remember, if you have a problem with your electrical, plumbing, heater, air, just pick up the phone and call the Bears, 205-497-BEAR. It's 497-BEAR.
All right, we'll get to a break, come back, continue this conversation on teams around the Southeastern Conference. Take a look at a game or two from the weekend we have not broken down just yet. Next on Jocks.
McElroy Cubelic, 853, almost to hour number 3. And Bill Smith Buick GMC continues to deliver unbelievable deals. Take the short drive up to Coleman. You'll see what I'm talking about. I-65, exit 310, Highway 31. Go get the GMC Dealer of the Year's best service, the best prices. Like a Buick Encore GX Preferred. $29,375 is the list price. You'll get it for under $25,000. It's $24,375. That is $5,000 off the sticker price. Why? Because they sell more than anybody else. They can take more off than anybody else. They sell in quantities that nobody else here in the Southeast can match. That's why they're able to pass on that savings to you. They don't need to have huge margins. Why? Because they sell so many. It's incredible the deals that you'll find on the lot. I've been a repeat customer. 75% of their business is repeat customer. I've bought 3 vehicles from. I'll buy my 4th because every single time I shop at Bill Smith, I have a tremendous experience. Take the short drive up to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online, have it delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
All right, I'm going to go through a couple of games from over the weekend that we hadn't hit just yet, and just kind of get a thought on those. Going to gloss over just a couple of SEC games, maybe get to a couple of national games. In the Southeastern Conference, we've mentioned your game, LSU and Ole Miss, and some of the problems that LSU has offensively, Greg.
Yes.
We talked a lot about Auburn fixing theirs. How easily repairable are some of the issues with the LSU offense right now?
Oh, they have to throw the ball more effectively. And the thing about it, like, I would not have outrageously high expectations for Garrett Nussmeier if I hadn't seen him do it. I mean, we've seen him do it. We know he can. We know he has. And we know he will again. I think he's banged up. I think he's hurt. I do. I don't know if the missed practice time has led to some inconsistencies, but it seems like it has. Even on completions, the opportunities for yards after catch are not there because they're a little off target. They got great receivers. I really like their wideouts. I do think they missed Aaron Anderson in this game on Saturday when he got banged up, and hopefully that elbow's not too significant because I think he's the best, arguably the best slot receiver in the SEC. So I think it's going to be important for him to get back, but I'm still pretty optimistic about kind of what they have and what they can do. They're not going to be a team that's super dynamic running the football, but they need to just hand it to Harlem Berry. At some point, I know he can't pass protect. I know he can't catch. I don't care. Get him the rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at some point, just hand him the rock. Let's see what happens. Because he might just break one. So I think Harlem Berry is going to be more and more a part of the plan as they move forward and they really start to assess what they want to be. Because they handed it off to Savion Thomas how many times last week? It was a bunch.
Yeah, they used him in the backfield a lot. It helped even things up, though. So
yeah,
I'll give him
it did.
credit for that.
I think there's a place for that. I just think you need to just give Harlem Berry the rock.
Why is that missed practice time becoming more of a talking point this year? Like Lagway, Nussmeier. I've heard that more with spring and fall missed practice time affecting guys in games. I don't feel like we've had that conversation a whole lot before this year. I don't know why this year it's such a big talking point.
Because these are like high-level guys that performed at a high level last year and pulled off high-level throws.
And now they're not.
Yeah. So I just think it's a little bit more of a talking point this year because it's a little more obvious this year.
All right, when we come back, Taylor Zarzar, he had Vanderbilt over the weekend. What does he think about their chances to go into Tuscaloosa and get a win? We'll ask him next right here on Jocks.